Okay, back with another quick look at the 21.2 Equality Before the Law. This is the sheet that you should be on. Left off with, we talked about de jure and de facto segregation, how de facto is a legacy type of segregation left over from the de jure segregation by law, which is thankfully largely illegal now through a series of decisions and laws. But de facto was segregation that exists, but then is in fact not required by the law, which still does exist in instances such as housing and so on. What we didn't cover was the 19th Amendment. Another history of equality, which made it illegal to deny women the right to vote, or denying the right to vote on account of gender. What in another cases, look two examples of how these cases were applied. So that's the next question is looking at two examples of a law based on gender that the Supreme Court struck down, and an example of a law based on gender for classification. One is that the practice of barring women from state-run military schools was struck down, and the law that prevented women from joining community service clubs was also struck down as not upholding strict scrutiny. There's no particular government purpose, not constitutional there as far as proper discrimination or discrimination that serves some purpose. Those did not. But one idea that did hold up was a law that prevented women from becoming prison guards or upholding the all-male draft law. Those were deemed to be constitutional and uphold some sort of purpose. So that's just a little background on the history of the equality in laws as we look at a little bit, as we start looking, as you've been looking a little bit more at equality before the law in this particular section, and how the Supreme Court has dealt with it, and how the laws such as civil rights acts have impacted that over U.S. history and its impact on the government and the U.S. government in general, and even on state governments.